Hello, everyone.
Everyone, welcome back to our
I
podcast.
just want to make an FYI. If I am not as energetic as I normally am, it's because it's really, really hot and my air conditioner is really, really loud. So I turned it off for recording. So I'm just in heat
I
in
don't
a
have
sauna.
that excuse because here's like getting to winter, so I can't say the AC's on, I'm too hot. No, I'm cold. I'm wearing a sweater at home.
I can feel my fan is just blowing hot air.
I told you to just keep your AC on. That's okay.
It's okay. I won't die for an hour, I think.
Okay, if Sally suddenly stops talking, we'll know why.
If you hear a thud, I'll keep it in the edit. So, this topic is something Sophia and I talk about on a regular basis, and she fully judges me for every time we talk about it.
It's worth
So,
judging.
so I thought we would talk about just our differences in food, like food preferences, because we do tend to like different types of dishes and just stuff like that. So, I don't know if Sophia wants to start first.
Oh, I can start by saying that
Oh wow, you're really ready. You're like, I'm
like
gonna start first.
I respect Sally's taste preferences and my taste preferences, but the type of Korean food that Sally likes is like if you were a man in your 40s and 50s and you had too much to drink last night and you need something like a hangover kind of thing the next day, that's the kind of food that Sally likes to eat on a regular basis. So,
Yes, I love those kind of foods. And we'll go into more
yeah.
details when we like start talking about preferences.
Yeah. So,
But in general, Sophia says that my taste buds are like a 40-year-old man, and the mom says my taste buds are like a homeless person. So,
because let's be honest, Sally, okay, don't get me wrong. Sally is super picky with food. Like
I
she
am.
has,
But the thing is, I'm picky and not picky at the
yeah,
same
she
time, which
has
is weird.
homeless taste buds is to the foods that she like.
Yes.
So for the food that she likes, if it's cooked a bit differently or something like that, she can't tell if it's a bit off. Like she can't tell. She'll eat whatever is in front of her, right? But that's only to the foods that she likes. So if there's food that she doesn't like, she'll
No
just
matter how
not.
you cook it, I will
She
not eat
won't
it.
eat it.
First example, okay, I shouldn't say never, because I've had it once that I really liked, but I only liked it because I didn't know what it was. So the one thing I hate, no matter how I've gotten it received so far, obviously because I can't mention future like experiences, but until this point, I've never had eggplant cooked any way that's good. I don't know, it's always like cooked like kind of mushy and it's always like bitter and like
I've
mom tried
never
making
thought of eggplant
tempura.
bitter.
Yeah, it's like kind of bitter. Well, I guess just how I had it. And then mom tries to like tempura it because she's like, mentality, oh, if you fry something, it's always going to taste better. So like I had it and like, yeah, the outside's crispy, but the still inside's mushy and I don't like it. So I think that's like one thing I've never had up till now cooked like to how I like it.
I feel like Sally doesn't like vegetables in general.
I hated vegetables when I was younger. Wow, I can't talk. The heat's getting to me. I couldn't.
We're only
I
four
hated
minutes in.
vegetables. I hated vegetables when I was younger, but now I'm a lot less picky. Because I think because I live alone, and I'm like, well, I can't just survive on bread. Like
I
that's
wish you
literally.
could survive on bread.
I know, but that's you would literally be in a vitamin deficiency if you did survive like that. So now that I like live on my own, I do buy like vegetables and I eat it. Like mom was so surprised. I told her, mom, I live on my own, and you know what I did yesterday? I bought broccoli and bell peppers on my own, and mom was very proud of me because those were two things I like refused to eat when I was younger.
But let's like be
So I
fair. Mom still thinks you're a baby.
yeah, but at least I'm buying vegetables. So
But I prefer like raw vegetables over cooked vegetables in general.
For me,
No, me. So I prefer
yeah, yeah,
like raw bell peppers rather than cooked. Like I
yeah.
like salads. I like cucumbers. I like tomatoes.
But who cooks cucumbers though?
Sometimes they come out kind of warm if you kind of put
Oh,
it as a
that's
decoration
weird.
on
Yeah.
top. But like if I had a choice of stir frying vegetables, I'd rather have the meat part and a raw vegetable with it, or like an oven baked vegetable rather than it being stir fried together.
For me, the best way that I like eating vegetables is if they're roasted. I
Mm.
love roasted like carrots, roasted peppers. Like I love stuff like that. I don't know, stir fry it's kind of nice cuz they're still crunchy but warm. But I do like a good salad too. Like if it's cold and it's crisp, it's pretty good.
But I think that's the thing for me. Apart from like hearty vegetables, like pumpkin or
Mhm.
eggplant or something,
Yeah.
I don't like warm vegetables.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I like fresh, like the fresh vegetable taste.
Mm. I yeah, I like it cuz like how it's slightly seasoned and then it's warmed.
Yeah.
But so to get into more detail of like my old man taste buds, oh no, homeless taste buds. I thought of an example that is what mom always says. So when mom and I like live together and I'm hungry and we just make ramen, like the instant noodles,
Oh
mom
no.
Sophia already knows where the story's going. So, mom would like cook the noodles, right? And then I think she'd like leave it on the stove a bit too long, and then she's like, "Oh, the noodles are kind of overcooked, so they're not like like chewy. They're like kind of soft because they're a bit overcooked." And for me, I would always be like, "Mom, it doesn't matter. Like for me, it tastes the same.
No,
I
the
don't
thing
care
is,
if my noodles."
Sally prefers overcooked noodles. Like,
No, I don't. I don't prefer it, but I don't care if it's overcooked or undercooked.
I
Like I don't have a
care
preference.
deeply. I care
Oh.
deeply with a passion.
Like if so now when I cook it on my own, it is slightly undercooked, like it's still chewy. But yeah, then if it was overcooked or undercooked, I never really cared and I would eat it fine. I think
No,
Zaganimo, like or one of our aunts, like we used to cook it like overcooked and I would just eat it fine because I wouldn't really care.
no, 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 no. So I even put like a teaspoon of vinegar while I'm cooking my ramen because I've heard somewhere that retains the bounce of the noodles. So when you,
See, I heard that too, and I don't think it works.
I don't know, I just do it because someone said it. I believe in it. It tastes good. But then the thing is, okay, the thing is, see, when I make shin ramen, the moment the noodles are able to separate
Separate?
themselves from that circle, I only wait like 40 more seconds and I turn off the heat.
I do that now because now I know that when you have the pot, the residual heat will still cook the noodles,
Yeah.
right? So if it's like slightly still undercooked, by the time you eat it, it will be cooked or overcooked.
Yeah.
So you have to be like undercooked. So by the time you get to the table, it's just undercooked.
Yeah. And if I want to put an egg in my ramen, I take out the noodles first and put it in a bowl. And then I crack an egg into the soup that's left in the pot. And then I'll
Yeah.
boil that and then I'll pour it on top so I don't keep cooking my noodles. Like I'm very, very, very particular
Wow,
about
you
noodles.
live. That's so stressful living for instant noodles.
I'm super passionate about my noodles. Like I don't eat ramen often,
Yeah, I can tell.
which is why when I eat them, it has to be
You want it
like
perfect.
perfect.
Mm. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
I don't have much ramen choices here, so I always have my favorite ramen, which is spaghetti, and I don't care what anyone says, that's my favorite noodle in the whole wide world. So
I know you've loved it for like for
since I was
as long as I
yeah,
can
since I was
remember.
like young.
The thing that I miss, the ramen that I can't seem to find here is like the Nagasaki udon ramen.
Oh, that one's
The
really
white
good. The
jjampong
white
ramen.
one.
That one's good. But they don't sell it like
They
here.
sold the similar one here, the kokomyam. So I bought that once, and then me and Harley
Oh.
tried it, and he liked it
Ah.
quite a bit because it's like a It's not like the Shin Ramen, like the red spicy. It's like a clean
It's a
chili spice.
yeah, it's different.
Oh my god, I'm getting hungry.
So another thing, mom. So this is related to my 40-year-old man, like taste buds or whatever. Um, so whenever like mom's like, "Oh, write a list of foods you want to eat." So if you just slammed yourself again.
I banged my elbow on the table.
Last time you slammed your finger, and now you slam your elbow. Sophia's just injury prone, I guess. So what I was saying was, whenever I go to Korea or before I go to Korea, mom's like, make a list of all the food that you want to eat before you go back. So, you can like fulfill your food experience before you leave. Because if I leave Korea, the food that I personally want, I cannot buy it, usually the place I'm staying. So, like,
And it's
when I
not
go
something you
to
can just cook at home either.
yeah, you can't just make it. Like the things that I normally crave are foods that you can't make at home, or you can, but it's like really tedious,
Rude.
right? So the one wow, the one soup that I really really like that Sophia doesn't like is chuotang.
Ugh!
As you can tell from her
Seriously.
expression. But the thing is, if I explain what the soup is, it seems even more unappetizing. The more you describe it, the more unappetizing the soup sounds, but it tastes really good. So I can't remember what the fish is actually called in English,
I
but
can
it's like
look it up.
a
I can
yeah,
look it
because
up.
I don't know what it's called.
To be fair, this soup, I've had a traumatic experience with it, which is why I don't like it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because for me, the first time I had it, I was like, "What is this amazing delicacy
They
of a
say it's
soup?"
like it could be like a loach or like a mudfish.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So basically, this, when you normally eat fish, take out the bones and you eat the meat. So what this soup is, they just think of it as they have the fish and they just blend it all together. So you have the bones like and the meat. So it's really like high in calcium because you're kind of consuming the bones as well, which is why they say it's like good for you. When I describe it, it doesn't sound appetizing, and the color when you like see it, it's just like a murky brown. It's just like a brown soup, and you can add like chili flakes or like however you want to season it, and you eat it with rice. Like grandma really loves it. I really like it. Mom doesn't like it, but like that's one thing obviously I can't get where I'm staying. And you can actually when you find places in Korea that sell that, you have to go to a good place to actually like they make it well or else it tastes really weird, right? But like those are the types of food that I crave when I go to Korea. Like I want that fish blend soup. I want that fish smoothie with my rice. Sophia's unimpressed. Because the first time I've ever had it, it wasn't made in a restaurant. It was like the pre-made, like packaged ones.
Yeah.
Because Auntie brought it over, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if Sally's gonna like this, but I think like Mom was going out." And then Aunt's like, "Oh, you can just have this for lunch because I had it at home." So I was like, "Oh yeah, I just have to heat it up in the pot and then eat it with rice, right?" So like I heated it up and I like warmed up my rice and I was eating it and I was like, wow, this is really good. Why have I never had this before? And then Auntie came back and she was like, so Sally, the soup, like, was it okay for your taste buds? Like, did you like it? It's okay if you didn't like it. Like, it's an acquired taste. And I was like, Auntie, it was so good. It's like one of the best soups that I had. Like, what is it?
She's
And then
like, Jesus, what is this girl?
she was so surprised. She's like, you actually like liked it? I'm like, yeah, I really really liked it. And then like she explained like what the soup was, and I was like, oh, it's really good. I want to try eating it like made at a restaurant. So that's when Auntie found a place and we all went together. Mom got katsu instead because she didn't want to eat the soup, but I went with Grandma and Auntie and Mom, and I was like, this is the best thing ever, and I actually crave it. So whenever Grandma like wants to go there, I'm like clapping my hands because I'm really happy.
Sure. I had a
Yeah.
traumatic experience because I've had one when I was like younger, like probably just like 19, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Korea, and someone's like, because then I lived with my grandma. So they're like, okay,
Yeah.
here, like, have some, right? Someone brought it. I can't remember who. But then when I saw it, it wasn't fully blended. So there was like half fish,
Oh,
whole fish, blended fish. And I was like, I'm
that's
not
weird.
eating
Yeah.
this thing. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care if, like, some famous dude made it. Like, I'm not touching that. Like, there's
Yeah.
half a fish in there.
I think the reason why people can eat it is only when it's fully blended. Because if there's chunks in it, that's just
Yeah, and I was
disgusting.
just like, did someone half make this and decide they wanted to stop in the middle or what? And then
The blender just malfunctioned in the middle.
yeah, and after I
Yeah.
saw that, and I was like, I can't eat this ever in my life
Yeah,
again.
that makes sense. Because the only reason why I could eat it is if it's like fully blended. If I saw chunks in it first, I probably would have been like, oh, and not
I'd
wanting to
be
eat
like,
it.
oh my god, the fish. And it's not even like big fish that we eat, like a
It's
mackerel or
small
something.
fish.
It's like teeny weeny fish, and it looks like the fish that you have in an aquarium. I'm like, oh my god, I'm traumatized for the
Aquarium
rest
fish.
of my life.
Oh my god, it's a beta fish.
Traumatized.
That makes sense, yeah. Because when I had it, it was just like completely just a soup base.
Yeah, so that's why. Like, the thing is, other soups that Sally likes, I'm okay with, but I don't go out of my way to go there.
Oh no, I go out of my way to eat it.
Because it's
So
like
this is
those kind of restaurants, if you go, there aren't like a family unit that's just sitting there
it's
and
like the
eating
working
it.
men.
It's like
It's like working men.
It's like working men or like people looks like they just came back from a hike that are kind of sitting there eating it, and you see like two girls with their mom and auntie and grandma go there eating it, and then it's okay. So it's called 감자탕 in Korean, and it's
Which is potato
with the
stew
potato stew,
translated.
but it's called a potato because there's potatoes
It's
in.
called a potato.
It's called a potato soup because there are potatoes in there, but I think that's not the reason. I think it's the
I
pork
think it's pork
bone.
ribs.
It's the pork
Yeah.
bone part. I think it's the
I think
backbone.
I think it's where the ribs connect to the
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
and they kind of, I can't remember. Maybe it's a shape or something, and that's why they call it that way. So I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Like if you take me
The
there,
meat is so tender and it's so flavorful and it's like boobly boobly right in front of you because they have it on the gas stove.
yeah. But I
And it's just
mean, like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. And if someone takes me there, I will eat it. But I'm not gonna be like a 15-year-old go, ooh, I want that soup, and like, like
I feel like you're just taking this episode to personally attack me every time because I'm the one that's like, oh, I want to go eat there, and then Auntie will like take us there.
yes, okay, because you're everyone's favorite. But I mean, like,
Also, that restaurant outside gives you free ice cream, so that's also another reason why I like to go there.
okay, but I mean, like, we go there and we sit, but we're literally like the only family unit there.
Yeah, but the thing is, we also go during lunchtime on a weekday. So not a lot of people eat out during the weekday. It's mostly during the weekend. So during the week, you will see a lot of like workers because the place where that restaurant is,
It's
there's
a
lots
lot
of
of
office
business,
buildings
yeah.
beside it. Yeah, so a lot of working people will like go out for lunch because a lot of restaurants or places that you eat outside in Korea is relatively affordable.
Yeah.
It's not like here where if you go out, it would cost you like $20-$30. You can find food that's like they sell food for like $4, $5. That's really filling and good. So there are lots of like small restaurants and stuff like that near the offices, which is where that restaurant's located.
Yeah.
But like it's just I feel like I'm the typical like Korean where in the summer when it's hot, I want like hot soup. I want like spicy, burning temperature
Yeah, me
hot
too.
soup
I'm the same.
that will make you like sweat, you know?
Sweat buckets.
Like because most people, if it's hot, they'll be like, oh, let's get like cold noodles or like shaved ice. And I'm like, no, we gotta get the soup and like detox our body and like recharge our energy because you lose energy in the summer and you need to fulfill it back up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, Sally's taste buds are just kind of more on the acquired taste side rather than if you go
Yeah.
straight away, you'll like it. And then, whereas for me, I kind of like a more generalized food palette kind of
Yeah,
person.
because all the foods that I like, I would not bring someone who's it's like their first experience in Korea and take them to that restaurant. I would not do that because I feel like first of all, it's a too big of a jump into Korean food, I think.
Mm-hmm. But if anyone was interested about like Korean, because Koreans eat so much meat, and especially like pork, there's actually a
Yeah.
documentary kind of thing on Netflix called The Pork Belly Rhapsody or something like that. And it's
Oh
all
damn.
about pork belly in Korea, like pork in
No, it's gonna
Korea.
make you so hungry if you watch
I
it.
know, but it's like living
Oh,
vicariously.
I thought of another food that
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
you see only old people see there. So this place, you might know it if I say it's a bit far from our house.
Mm-hmm.
We so if I want to go there, we have to like plan ahead with grandma, like to make sure like we don't have anywhere else to go to after it, because the place that I really like is a bean sprout soup.
Oh, no.
And it's literally just water boiled with bean sprouts and like you just put the rice in it and it's basically just like a rice stew.
Oh, no.
And and that is like well known to be hangover food. Like once you're
Isn't that
hungover the
the
next
one where
day.
you go near Everland?
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes.
I always remember that place because every time when we were
Sophia's
young,
trigger.
we'd go to Everland and on our way back, we'd have to stop there and eat there.
That's so good. It's so good. And you have like your unlimited kimchi in this little like tukbegi like bucket thing. And the bean curd fried pancake is also really good. Ah, chef's kiss.
I mean, don't get
I
me
still
wrong,
miss
it's
that
good,
place.
but then it's not like.
But you will literally see no young people there. It's all like people who are 60 years old.
No, I'm saying you shouldn't be like 7 and be like, oh, I want to go eat that. You know, like it's just not how this works.
But that's how my brain works. Whenever I go to Korea, I'm like, we have to eat there at least once. If I leave Korea and I don't eat there, I'm going to be sad.
See, I don't have anything like this. I'm okay. I okay. We were gonna talk about
Whoa.
something else in the next episode, but no, I changed my mind. Cause in the next because
Sophia's just going to attack me again.
in the next episode we're gonna talk about if we had to only eat 1 or 2 foods for the rest of our life,
Oh.
what it would be. Because
Oh, that's
mine is
difficult.
set. You can ask.
Oh, yours is set?
Mine is set. Like you don't even need to ask me
Oh.
twice. Mine is set. Faux show.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to
That'd be
explain why my choice is the best choice and possibly the only choice.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just listening to everything you said. I'm like, no, 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 I can't agree with anything that's coming out of her mouth. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna
Now
do?
I want that stew.
Okay, so
We will cut this episode, but next episode, Sophia will argue why her opinion's the best opinion and the only opinion.
yeah,
And then
and
the listeners can
Sally
see if
can
they agree or
try
disagree.
to think of 2 things that she can only eat for the rest of her life because she probably won't be able to choose.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. No.
Mine's
You might not
so
even hear my
easy.
opinion next episode.
No, because I just woke up like an hour, like 2 hours ago. And then I told Harley, like, if I could only eat 2 things for the rest of my life, it'd be this, set. Like, no need to even argue. Like, I'll eat these 2 for the rest of my life. I'll never get tired.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to think about it for like the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. But Sally, oh, maybe when this episode goes up, you can post the pictures of what your food looks like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it'll be appetizing, but.
Well, it's not for appetizing purposes. It's to show that you like that kind of food. You're introducing your
True.
food. So on Instagram,
There are even some stuff I haven't said yet
yeah. So
that I feel like would be really bad to explain.
yeah. So on Instagram and Twitter, Sally will post the pictures when it comes up. When this episode comes up.
Yeah,
So you guys
if
can,
I remember.
well, as you're editing, you'll hear it and then you'll remember it. All right, everyone. Remember, now we have a YouTube channel as well. It's just our voices. So if you guys, like, because some countries don't have Spotify, So you can always listen to it on
Yeah.
YouTube. It comes out on the same day as it does in Spotify or Apple Podcast.
Yep. And if you want any questions answered, you can always message us on Instagram or tweet us on Twitter.
Well then,
So we will
everybody.
see you guys next week when Sophia will tell you why her opinion's the only one that matters. Okay,
It always is in my
bye.
family. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.